Morning, my dear students. Now we discussed about reflection and refraction of traveling waves. So what is meant by reflection? If the wave come back, wave traveling from sending end to receiving end, come back to receiving end to sending end, we will call it as a reflection. If passes through the sending end to receiving end and that passes through the receiving end, that is called as a refraction of traveling wave. We can discuss reflection and refraction of traveling waves. If a traveling wave arrives at a point where the impedance suddenly changes, the wave is partly transmitted and partly reflected. This is a very important point in traveling wave studies. So whenever the impedance changes on the junction points. Oh, what are the junction points normally? So if a line connected to a cable connected to a line, or the number of lines are intersecting, number of cables are intersecting, definitely the impedance is changes. So wherever the impedance changes, the wave is partly transmitted, partly reflected. Normally, the line impedance, surge impedance is varies from 400 to 600 ohms, but in a cable that varies 40 to 60 ohms. In a line is connected to a cable causes at the junction point, the wave is partly transmitted and partly reflected. So line terminated through impedance Z. There is a impedance Z, E incident voltage ZC. Characteristic impedance, ZC stands for characteristic impedance. Let E and I represent the incident waves. Incident waves means the wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end. ET and IT represent the transmitted waves. So transmitted waves means at any point on transmission line, the wave is the sum of incident wave plus reflected wave. So that means the transmitted voltage or transmitted current is equal to sum of incident voltage, some incident reflected voltage, sum of incident voltage plus reflected voltage. The transmitted current is equal to sum of incident current plus some reflected current. So incident current means the wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end. The reflected current means the wave is traveling from receiving end to sending end. So ER and IR is a reflected wave. Already I told that what is a reflected wave. This is a line having ZC characteristic impedance, incident voltage, Z impedance, line terminated to impedance, line terminated to impedance. The following relations hold good for incident, transmitted and reflected voltage and current waves. E is equal to I into ZC. What is the E? E is nothing but incident voltage is equal to incident current into ZC. If you observe the diagram carefully, so there is a incident voltage E. So the traveling incident current I having the impedance ZC. E is equal to IZC. Transmitted voltage is equal to transmitted current into impedance. In transmitted voltage, that is equal to transmitted current into impedance. If you observe the diagram, this is a here the transmission occurs. So the transmitted voltage is equal to the transmitted current into Z. Reflected voltage is equal to minus IR into ZC. These are very important. Why we get the reflected current is a negative sign. So the wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end, that will have the positive polarity. So the wave is traveling from receiving end to sending end, definitely that will having negative sign. The wave is traveling from receiving end to sending end, that will have a reflected. The reflected having negative sign. So the reflected voltage is equal to minus IR into ZC. The transmitted voltage and current will be respectively the algebraic sum of incident and reflected voltage and current waves. Already I told that one. So at any point on transmission line, the transmitted voltage is the sum of incident voltage plus reflected voltage. The transmitted current is the sum of incident current plus reflected current. Substitute the values of I, IR and IT from equation 1 to 3 in equation 5. So what are the substituting value? I value, normally I value is called E by ZC, IT value ET by Z minus IR value minus ER by ZC. If you substitute these values in equation 5, we get Et by Z is equal to E by ZC minus ER by ZC from the equation. From equation 4 and 6 we have Et by Z is equal to E by ZC minus Et minus E by ZC. How can you get Et minus E? So the transmitted voltage is the sum of incident voltage plus reflected voltage. So the reflected voltage is equal to Et minus E. You can replace reflected voltage is the Et minus E. So finally we get E by ZC minus Et minus E by ZC. So if you simplify this equation, definitely we get the transmitted voltage Et is equal to E into 2Z by Z plus ZC. So that means the transmitted voltage E is equal to incident voltage into 2Z by Z plus ZC. So in the similar manner, the transmitted current IT is equal to transmitted voltage by impedance. Substitute the transmitted voltage value. What is the transmitted voltage value? The transmitted voltage value Et is equal to E into 2Z by Z plus ZC. Substitute the value. So if you simplify, we get the transmitted current IT is equal to incident current into 2ZC by Z plus ZC. Once again, the transmitted current IT is equal to incident current into 2ZC by Z plus ZC. We get ER is equal to ET minus E. Already we know the ET is equal to E plus ER. ER is equal to ET minus E. So transmitted voltage minus incident voltage. Already we know the transmitted voltage value. ET is equal to E into 2Z by Z plus ZC. Subtract incident value. So definitely we get the reflected voltage is equal to the incident voltage into Z minus ZC by Z plus ZC. So once again, the reflected voltage is equal to incident voltage into Z minus ZC by Z plus ZC. The reflected current already we know from the basic equations, IR is equal to minus ER by ZC. So substitute ER value. ER value, what is the ER value? E into Z minus ZC by Z plus ZC by ZC. Cancel the ZC. Finally, we get the reflected current is nothing but minus I into, so minus negative sign. Reflected current is equal to incident current into Z minus ZC by Z plus ZC. Here they have negative sign. For reflected current, they have negative sign. The coefficients 2Z by Z plus Zc and Z minus Zc by Z plus Zc are called coefficient of refraction and reflection respectively. So reflection coefficient, which is the reflection coefficient? Z minus Zc by Z plus Zc is the reflection coefficient. Z minus Zc by Z plus Zc is the reflection coefficient. Zc is the surge impedance. Z is a line impedance. So in the similar manner, what is the refraction coefficient? The refraction coefficient is 2Z by Z plus Zc is the refraction coefficient. It will be observed that the transmitted or refracted current and voltage always have positive polarity. So please observe the equation. It will justify, it will be observed that transmitted or refracted current and voltage always have positive polarity. The polarity of the reflected waves depends on the magnitude relationship between Zc and Z. So already we know from the equation, this is the magnitude will depend upon Zc and Zc. If Zc greater than Z, the voltage wave is negative and the current wave is positive. But vice versa, if Z greater than Zc. So next topic is typical cases of line terminations. What are the typical cases? The first one is short circuited line. When the line is short circuited, what happens? We see, if the line is short circuited at the receiving end, either Z is equal 0 from the diagram. So same diagram. So impedance Z is equal 0. They having characteristic impedance and also incident voltage. Either Z is equal 0. Then the transmitted and reflected waves are given as. So the transmitted voltage is equal to 0. Why we get transmitted voltage is equal to 0? If the line is short circuited at the receiving end, definitely there is no transmission voltage. The transmission voltage is a nil if the line is short circuited. Definitely if the line is short circuited, that is equal to 0. Definitely there is a current but there is no voltage. So the transmitted voltage is equal to 0. The transmitted current is a 2I. How can you get 2I? Already, whenever the line is short circuited, definitely the current I will be passed through the short circuit line. The line, whenever the uh, incident voltage will be travels from sending end to receiving end side. Already current I is in receiving end side. Another current, incident current added to the short circuit current I plus I. It is a doubling effect. The transmitted current is 2I in short circuited line. ER is equal to minus C. So why we get the reflected voltage is the negative of incident voltage. Why? Because the voltage is travels from sending end to receiving end, but there is no transmission voltage takes place at the receiving end. The entire voltage will be reflected back to receiving end to sending end. Once again I told that if whenever the line is short circuited, the wave voltage is traveling from sending end to receiving end, there is no transmission voltage takes place. So the entire voltage reflected back into receiving end to sending end. When the wave is reflected back to receiving end to sending end, definitely they are having negative sign, that will call as minus E. The reflected voltage is equal to minus E in short circuit line. Reflected current is equal to I only, because that will allows the wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end. Definitely that will allows the short circuit line. The reflected current is equal to I. The unique characteristics of the short circuit is that voltage across it is zero. When an incident voltage wave E arrives a short circuit, the reflected voltage wave must be minus E to satisfy the condition that the voltage across the short circuit is zero. So the transmitted voltage is equal to What is the transmitted voltage? Incident voltage plus reflected voltage. So already incident voltage is E, the reflected voltage is nothing but minus E. Definitely we get 0. So the transmitted voltage is 0 in short circuit line. So this is a wave, reflection of waves at short circuit. So the incident voltage is traveling from sending end to receiving end. Incident current is traveling from sending end to receiving end. So in whenever the incident voltage is traveling in transmission, that will not transmitted the voltage, that will be reflected back. But in case of current, that will be raised to IR plus I, that becomes 2I because of short circuit condition. Open circuited line. If the line is open circuited at the receiving end, Z is infinite. If the line is open circuited, definitely the impedance is infinite. The transmitted and reflected waves are given as transmitted voltage is 2 times of V. So when the line is open circuited means the voltage V at the receiving end, the voltage E at the receiving end already there. If the wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end, another E is traveling. Already in open circuit condition, some E is present. So E plus E, that will becomes 2 times of E, that will called as doubling effect. The transmitted voltage in open circuit condition is 2 times of incident voltage. The transmitted current is 0. Why? Because whenever the open circuited line, there is no path or no provision for current flowing. The open circuit condition, there is no provision or no path for traveling current. So the transmitted current is equal to 0. Reflected voltage is called incident voltage plus ER is equal to E. The reflected current is a minus I, because when the wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end, there is no path. That wave is again traveling from receiving end to sending end. The wave is traveling from receiving end to sending end, definitely that will have negative sign. Reflected current IR is equal to minus I. So this is a waves. So incident voltage traveling from sending end to receiving end, incident current is traveling from sending end to receiving end. So, but in case of voltage, that will at the receiving end, the voltage is rise 2 times of V because of doubling effect, reflection of waves at open circuit. Line terminated by an impedance equal to surge impedance. If the Z is equal to ZC, what happens? The line terminated by an impedance equal to surge impedance. Z is equal to ZC. If the line is terminated with an impedance equal to surge impedance, Z is equal to ZC, we have transmitted voltage is equal to incident voltage. Transmitted current is equal to incident current. There is no reflected voltage, there is no reflected current. If the condition Z is equal to ZC, the line impedance is equal to characteristic impedance, there is no reflected voltages and reflected currents, they have only transmitted voltage and transmitted current. Line connected to a cable. So when the line is connected to a cable, what happens we see? So when the line is connected, if the line impedance is Z1, the cable impedance is Z2. Normally the line impedance will be varies from 400 to 600 ohms. Cable impedance will be varies from 40 ohms to 60 ohms. Whenever the impedance changes at the junction point, that will changes 400 to 40. Whenever the impedance changes, what happens? The wave is partly transmitted through a cable, partly reflected back into transmission line. So once again I repeat, whenever the impedance changes in junction point, the wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end. So at the junction point, the wave is partly transmitted through a cable, partly reflected back to a line. This is a very important point for drawing the Bavelsey lattice diagrams also. A wave traveling over the line and entering the cable as shown in figure look into a different impedance, and therefore it suffers reflection and refraction at the junction. So which is called reflection? The wave through the cable is a refraction. The wave is reflected back is a reflection. The wave is traveling from sending end to receiving end. So some the wave is traveling through cable is a refraction. It will comes back to the line is a reflection. The refracted and transmitted voltage is given as 2 Z2 E by Z1 plus Z2. How can we get the transmitted voltage is 2 Z2 E by Z1 plus Z2? The transmitted voltage already we study in reflection and refraction coefficient. The refraction coefficient is 2 Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. Here in previous case they having impedance Z and ZC. Here we having okay ZC and Z. Here we having Z1 and Z2. Definitely the coefficient is 2 Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. The transmitted voltage ET is equal transmission coefficient, which is the transmission coefficient 2 Z2 by Z1 plus Z2 is the transmission coefficient into incident voltage. The transmitted voltage is equal to incident voltage into 2 Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. 2 Z2 by Z1 plus Z2 is a transmission coefficient. Whenever the wave is transmitted, we multiply with transmission coefficient. Whenever the wave is reflected back, it will multiply with reflection coefficient. What is the reflection coefficient? Z minus Zc by Z plus Zc. In previous case, here Z and Zc replaced with Z1 and Z2. Surge impedance of the overhead line and cable are approximately 500 ohms and 50 ohms respectively. With these values, it can be seen that the voltage entering the cable will be transmitted voltage ET is equal to E into 2 into 50 by 50 plus 500. So 50 is the cable impedance, 500 is a transmission line impedance. We get 2 by 11 times of incident voltage, or roughly 20% of the incident voltage is traveling. The transmitted voltage is the 20% of the incident voltage. Thank you.